Good day. So today we're going to continue review, as I'm sure you all expected to hear. We're going to do a grammar subject. Now I know grammar subjects aren't very popular, they're not very popular with me either. And we're going to repeat something that we've done fairly recently, but probably long enough ago that it slipped your memory, certainly slipped mine. Now a couple of the things that we're going to be looking at over the next few weeks are past and present tenses. We don't need to worry about future tenses, but we do need to look at past and present. So today we're going to redo one of our videos. We're going to go over something that we've already covered before, and we're going to do a quiz about it, and I'm going to show you another video just to nail the message home. The questions in the test I think are pretty basic, so I want to go over it with you very briefly, and I'm going to give you a review sheet as well. So make sure you do that as well. Go through it, look at all the different points, and make sure that you can do all of the exercises in it. So now I'm going to give you the video to watch. So all you need to do is watch the video, and we've already done it once before. Go through it, and just make sure you remember everything. Then do the review sheet, then do the quiz. And that's all there is for today. Now to nail this home, we've got three simple past tenses that we need to look at. The video agrees with that. Watch the video and it goes into more detail. But I've also given you a worksheet. Now the worksheet breaks it down into very simple terms, simple past, past perfect and past continuous. So very briefly, just so that you know, we'll have a look through the worksheet. So pick it up in Google Classroom, and here it is. So the simple past tense is it's a verb tense, so all we do is modify the verb. All we need to do is change the verb to the past tense. Now normally with a regular verb we simply add ed. With an irregular verb it'll have its own rules. Now the two examples we've got here are Keith entered a hula hoop contest. Apparently he's my brother actually, and this is the kind of weird stuff that he would actually do. I wouldn't put it past him, I really wouldn't. So Keith entered a hula hoop contest. We take enter, which is our verb, we move it to the past tense by entering ed. He won the silver medal, won being the past tense of win, and that's all there is to it. We just change the verb to the past tense. There's a couple of other examples, it tells you how to formulate it, but really it is that simple. We take the verb and we move it to the past tense, usually is about 60-70% of the time, just by adding ed. You're going to find that the rules for changing the verb to the past tense are pretty well established in your own head. You know most of them already. There is no set rule to irregular verbs. Some of them you change various letters, some of them you add ed, some of them you don't. The only way to know is just to know. Okay? The past perfect tense. The past perfect is a verb tense that talks about actions that were completed at some point before in the past. So these are not just random events that just happened at some point. We're trying to give them an idea of when they happened. So we were shocked to discover that someone had graffitied Tootsie's Toodles was here on our front door. I did copy and paste this from a website, a good website. Toodles was here. We were relieved that Toodles had used washable paint. So in these examples, what we do is we add had, and we have the past tense of the verb. So had plus the past tense. And that tells us usually that something happened at a set point in time, usually before something else. So if we look back at it, we were shocked to discover that someone had graffitied Toodles was here on our front door. That tells us exactly when something had happened, and we were relieved that Toodles had used washable paint. So he'd used washable paint before we discovered it. Okay, so we're trying to tell you when these things happened. Perfect tense is for talking about something that happened before something else, etc. And here's a sentence that uses it better. I turned back to the house and saw that someone named Toodles had defaced my front door. So that had happened before we discovered it, so we use had and defaced. The formula is here. The formula for using past tense is had plus the past participle of the verb. It doesn't matter if it's singular or plural. Goes into a bit more detail. And then we have past continuous tense. The past continuous tense, also known as the past progressive, we won't be calling it that in the test, don't worry, refers to a continuing action or state that was happening at some point in the past. Usually it began in the past and could be continuing up to the present day. The sun was shining every day that summer. As I spoke, the children were laughing at my cleverness. It can be used to describe something that has happened continuously in the past. The audience was watching until we fell off the stage. I was eating dinner when she arrived. It can also refer to a habitual action in the past. She was dancing constantly in class in those days. Past continuous, also known as the past progressive, is formed by using the past tense of to be, i.e. was, were, and the verb's present tense, an ing word. Okay. So in that worksheet, there's also some exercises for you to do. So do those before you do the quiz. So watch the videos, do the sheet, and then do the quiz.